dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Hello race fans and welcome to New Smyrna Speedway here in Florida. We are live for the High Rock Mustangs 110, and I tell you what, we've got ourselves a couple of pretty cool storylines coming up into this show. Last week we saw Chisholm and the 98 of Shelley get together. That caused some drama and caused Aaron Kralik to be able to steal a win there in the last couple of moments. Justin Sipes, another driver that we've seen have success. He's looking to bounce back after a tough week last week. And like we said, Aaron Kralik trying to keep that momentum after stealing a win here. We've just got a couple minutes left to practice. I'm Liam Irving, joined up in the booth by Matt Metler. And Matt, I kind of glossed over those quick storylines there, but we had a lot happen last week. It was an action-packed finish with the bump and run coming in turns 1 and 2 out of the Chisholm machine, getting into the back of the 98. 98 comes back, tries to give it back. Everybody gets together, and Kralik, of course, emerges victorious.
Yeah, we certainly do. We have storylines aplenty as we come to you guys live tonight from my home state of Florida. And you're absolutely right. Chisholm was given the chisel to the back of the 98. They did the two-car tango as the Red Seas parted, and Kralik got the shot of a lifetime, as he said in the interview, and he comes away and steals one. The storylines can only set up for another action-packed, high-octane thrill ride. I want to thank all you guys for being along with us tonight as we got the Mustangs fired up here We're about to take you guys trackside as we're currently looking here at the 15 machine of Braxton DeWeese. I went out there today and turned a couple laps in practice, and I can tell you right now, rotating the center tonight is going to be a challenge for these drivers as we're back to kind of a one-groove racetrack, so let's see if that calms these boys down just a little bit versus what we saw out there on the racetrack last week.
Yeah, we'll have about 110 laps, or I believe 120 laps for the feature. Of course, we're going to have our 2 heats. As of right now, we've only got 23 drivers with a registration for the event, so that last chance qualifier might not have to take place here at New Smyrna. But we look through the track info here. One thing that I've noticed here, that altitude 38 feet, we are right at sea level. These cars are going to be getting the, I guess, most rich air they possibly can into these carburetors, and 91 degree temperature right now for the track, 88 degrees as you see a wild incident happening in the background.
Yes.
Just under half a mile here in New Smyrna. It's definitely going to be a different beast than what we saw last week.
Yeah, a different beast, a different animal, but I don't think it's going to keep these drivers at bay very much as they look to continue the high-octane thrill ride they've been taking us on now. And I look forward to every Sunday night as VASTT gets ready to do battle right here at New Smyrna Speedway.
Yeah, these guys just finishing up in practice. We'll kind of take a look at who's on track right now. We've got Braxton DeWeese, who is in the pits. A couple of guys running. There's Mo Perry.
Yeah, Mo Perry in that. Yeah, Mo Perry in that 54 machine. He's had an up and down kind of start to this as VASTT has teamed up and partnered up with SRM. As we see a little bit of a howitzer going on early in this one here. That's all fun and games right now. But I promise you guys at home, if we get back to that side of things in the race, look for those tempers and emotions to boil over again as we continue to watch that 54 machine of Mo Perry currently occupying, it looks like the 16th on the speed charts as he runs right now.
Yes, sir. 16th out of 23. Got a little bit of work he's going to want to do, but he's only 2/10 off of the best time here. And that's pretty close when you're at a track like this. It kind of builds up over the course of time, but 2/10, you figure these guys can try to find it somewhere. As we just finish up here with practice.
Yeah, we just, as you said, finishing up under practice as that checkered flag comes out to signify the end of the practice session. That's still, oh, what a ride by the 54 as he cartwheels it into the fence.
Yeah, he said, I wonder how far this will go while we wait on the reset here. But now qualifying, going to get started here. And we'll see who's going to be the first to pull off the track. Rob Hottenbach, Aaron Kralik also. Last week's winner, the Crawdad, trying to get another one done. He ran up in the top 5 for most of last week. Found himself in the right place at the right time as chaos ensues. You see a little bit of tire wiggling there, trying to get some heat up into the tires. Rob Hottenbach also getting up onto the racetrack. Ryan Bird going to be the first one to take the green in his qualifying lap. Right up on the bottom, slides up just a little bit, coming through the middle, and nice clean exit there.
Yeah, Hottenbach here, or I'm sorry, Ryan Bird here as we go along with that 49 machine. See him rolling the bottom, getting back up on the loud pedal, which is going to carry him to the top side of the racetrack. That's going to check him in temporarily on the provisional pole in that 49 machine. Coming in at a 17.77. Place your bets if you're in Las Vegas on Ryan Bird. All those sevens, trip sevens, that's enough for me to put my money on him.
Well, now Ali Fonseca with his first lap, he's going to put down a 17.60. I think Ryan Bird, he went back to the pits to try to get a little bit more cooling done to his tires before taking another lap at it. Braxton DeWeese is going to jump into second place after his first lap, and looks like he'll pull the same strategy as Bird, as now you see Bird back out on the racetrack trying to get a nice big wide exit, big momentum into turn number 1.
Yeah, don't look now, but look who's up on the top of the pylon. That 42 machine of Ali Fonseca is he's showing number 1 on the pylon, but we continue to watch that 49 machine of Ryan Bird trying to best that first lap of 1:7.77. 1777, and I don't think he's going to do it. Oh, he is. He's going to best it by just literally a tick at 1776.
And not a bad run there. Most of these guys getting done with their third lap. Isaac Shelley, another driver that was involved in that fantastic finish last week. He's looking for a little bit more as he's on the track good for fourth right now with 17.67. Going to try again, lap number 2. Does he improve? He does not. He's about half a tenth slower. We'll see if that third lap is going to be the special one for him here as he gets down into 3 and 4.
Yeah, we'll see if that last lap's going to be the icing on the cake for Shelley in that 98 machine, who was one of the big storylines last week all race long. It doesn't look like it's going to seal the deal for him. He's going to come up just a little short at a 17.75. One of the big storylines already is look how close these guys are in speed within the top 5, top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. We can throw that graphic up onto the screen. You guys can see what kind of lap times your favorites have run.
Yes, that's going to cycle us to that. Looks like that 3 machine temporarily in view there out on the racetrack. There he is, the number 3 machine currently on track right now. That's going to be Thomas Green in that Chevrolet, or I'm sorry, that Ford Mustang GT.
Nope, switched up on you there, sorry. That's Matt Troush now. We saw a little bit of a connection issue there for the 3, so we jumped over to Matt Troush, who's just getting his qualifying run started. But Thomas Green able to pull off a 10th place start so far, 10th grid's position, which will put him into the second heat.
Yeah, and one thing these guys have taught us in the short tenure that we've had together, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And that's something that's been overwhelmingly compliant as we have run through now a few features with these guys, a handful of heat races, and a whole lot of high-octane racing action as we continue to go around the track with that number 9, that 98 machine of Isaac Shelley, or 09 machine, I'm sorry, of Kevin Harvick throwback paint scheme, that Mobile 1 on board. And let's shift gears here real quick. I can't believe this is going to be Kevin Harvick's final season. Maybe we'll see a 4 forever on this car as we go throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Harvick just announcing that he's going to be up in the Fox Sports booth for the NASCAR Cup Series next year. So that'll be an interesting combination with him and Boyer getting up there. And, well...
Yeah, we'll have to see just how happy Harvick is these days once he transitions into the booth.
Well, I'm sure he's going to be great up there. He's going to have a blast. I know he's been done pretty well in the Xfinity Series when he's called those races, and it's not going to hurt to have somebody with next-gen experience getting up in there talking about what these guys are going to see coming up through the next couple of years. But now we get ready for heat race number 1. Go ahead and show you the grid here if we can.
Yeah, while he's working on the grid, I will run you down through the starting order here. That 42 machine of Ali Forsaker, he's going to be P1. In P2, that's going to be Dominic Chisholm. In third, Isaac Shelley. Those guys picking up right where they left off last week. In fourth, that's going to be the 21 of Christopher Smith. Fifth belongs to Ryan Bird. Sixth, that's going to be that 52 machine of Daniel Vilgan. Seventh, that's going to be Aaron Crawdad Kralik. In eighth, that's going to be Rob Hottenbach. In ninth, Thomas Walter. 10th belongs to Ethan Smith, the HMFIC of this league. If you guys are interested, give him a shout out. In 11th, that's going to be Todd Lamphere. And in 12th, that's going to be Matt Troush.
Absolutely. We appreciate you running through that for us, Matt. We are in for a phenomenal show here. We are going to have, let's switch that, 15 laps here for the first heat. Everybody should be locked in, but this is going to be where you're starting in the features. So every spot that you gain here, that's going to be worth 2 spots in the main event in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
so
don't let these...
Going to try to run away with this thing and start up front.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. He's going to try and hit the loud pedal early and scoot away from the rest of this field here. He'll try to keep that 42 machine as clean as he possibly can for the feature here later on tonight. But before we get there, we got 2 heat races to get through. And this should only just be just a little bit of a taste of what to expect here as these guys get ready to do battle in my home state of Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be a lot of battles in your home state here as they've got some of the best short tracks in the nation. We are green flagged already. Shelley looking out on the inside. Fonseca had to try to make a little bit of a block there, a defensive strategy as Dominic Chisholm runs that top side. He's got a good run as they're 3-4 wide almost in the back.
Yeah, they are
side by side up for the race lead, though. It's Fonseca not able to keep that loud pedal down coming up out of the corner. And Dominic Chisholm is going to try to drive away with this thing and take his line away. Look at these guys sliding coming up off the corner. Up into the wall goes top Rob Ottenbach. He's upside down.
Oh, he's upside down, and already carnage has struck out on the racetrack. As I was just ready to give props to Dominic Chisholm with that power move on the outside. Definitely not the preferred line as chaos has struck already on the racetrack. We go back on board here looking at the 99 in company as they do battle in Heat 1. You're going to see he's going to almost touch the 09 as he continues to work to the outside of the racetrack. He's just gets loose.
Just kind of climbs up the wall. Unfortunate for him. It doesn't look like... Well, I mean, it's tough to know the damage level on that car when he gets turned over like that, but...
Well, we know one thing. That roof is going to be scuffed up at minimum.
Oh, absolutely. We saw him get hit in the door as well. You see a little damage on the right side, right behind the wheel, and he did take a front-end impact too. So we're going to have to see what kind of damage he has after the tow. Obviously, it's going to take a few moments to get him back into the pits and get that crew a chance to look at it.
Yeah, and while he's getting set in the pits and his team gets ready to look at that race cart before they go ahead and get repairs started on that machine, we got to still get this one in the books. And that's going to move the 87 to P1 of Dominic Chisholm, but on the outside, the hard-charging Ali Fonseca. And then you're going to have the 98 of Isaac Shelley. All these gentlemen are going to want to have their hat in this one before it's over. I can guarantee you of that. Oh, Fonseca, thank you.
All right, the lights are out on the pace car. And Dominic Chisholm looks to try to defend the move that he just made on the initial start. We'll see if Ali Fonseca, you mentioned hard charging Ali up here, going to try to do everything he can to wrestle that lead back away after starting on the front, or in the front of this race, heat number 1. This is, of course, the first of 2 heats here. And we mentioned, I believe there's only 23 drivers who are able to show up for this one, so everybody should make it in. This is all for starting positions. Huge restart out of Dominic Chisholm, though, and side by side for second, Fonseca and Shelley. And that outside wall suddenly looks a little bit scarier to these drivers after seeing what happened to the 99 coming up out of turn number 2. And around in the back, we've got Todd Lamphere.
Yeah, and just out of nowhere. Yeah, out of nowhere, Todd Lamphere, he's going to go around as we continue to stay green out there on the racetrack. I thought for sure the caution was going to come out, but we stay green. That's going to keep Dominic Chisholm in first. Ali Fonseca, he is going to be in P2, and Isaac Shelley is going to be in P3. But don't look now, there's a 49 machine creeping into the picture. That's a very hungry Ryan Bird looking to rebound from last week as he got caught up in some of that early melee that went on the racetrack. But we continue right now to watch that 98 and that 42 machine do battle as he is just lurking off of the back of that 42 machine.
Yeah, trying to inch his way a little bit closer as you see a little bit more battling towards the back of the pack. Looked like the 09 was up into the wall. That was Matt Trouch. Seems to be able to continue so far, so good. Isaac Shelley just trying to inch closer, though, to that 42. And we've got Aaron Kralik, last week's winner, trying to defend from the 21 of Christopher Smith.
Yeah, he's trying to defend from the 21 of Christopher Smith as these guys are just starting to get settled in as we see the 00 all over the back bumper of that 52 machine. Daniel V just being lambasted right now, just all over from the front of that Toyota Camry. I thought for sure there maybe someone was going to go around, but somehow they keep it pointed straight. There are battles just brewing all over the racetrack as you see those plumes of smoke indicative of some light wall tapping as these guys were getting ready to transition into the corner.
Yeah, a little bit of light wall tapping. These guys doing everything they can to try to get the best arc through the corner. But we talked to some guys before the race how that turn one wall, it seems to narrow up a little bit. So you might be more susceptible to that as these three just stay all over each other. That's Ethan Smith, Daniel Veglon, and Matt Trouch running towards the back. Now, usually the way that these heat races work is the top 10 is going to make it in. And then we've got a 20-lap or 25-lap LCQ where the top 5 make it in, resulting in a 25-car feature. However, it's not going to be the case in this one as the checkered flag is out, and that one kind of ran away from us. Dominic Chisholm, Ollie Fonseca, Ryan Shelley, Ryan Bird, Aaron Kralik round out your top 5 there. Sorry about all that. And
yeah, I'll run them rest of the way through the field. In 6th, that's going to be Christopher Smith. In 7th, that's going to be Ethan Smith. In 8th, that's going to be Daniel Vaughn. And I lost the order there as we're going to go ahead and get ready to re-rack and restack for heat number 2. That's going to be led by Braxton DeWeese and company. Justin Sipes in that 55. He's going to start P2. Danny Cochran, P3. 4th is going to go to Mason Cassidy. 5th, Thomas Green. 6th, that's going to be Dakota Manois. I know if I butchered that, I apologize. In 7th, that's going to be Jarrett Talmadge. In 8th, it's going to be Kelly Rochelle. 9th, Mo Perry. 10th, Owen Joyce. And in 11th, Sean Huffstuffler.
yeah, here we are gearing up for another exciting 15 laps here at New Smyrna.
Yeah, as we see the iRacing. Yeah, we're getting ready to roll here as that iRacing.com pace car is going to lead these boys out onto the racing surface. Braxton DeWeese there in that 15 to 55 of Sipes. Went way to the top side of the racetrack as they pulled out of the pits, but he's going to fall in line. Then you see there just off the back bumper of the 15 machine, we're seeing Danny Cochran in that 2 machine. He's been fast at times so far early on in this one as well.
Yeah, he certainly has. We saw him going really hard in practice. You know, spun out a couple of times trying to get absolutely everything out of that number 2 Chevy. He's going to be one to watch starting in the 3rd place. But Braxton DeWeese, fastest qualifier in this heat, he's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I'll say when Braxton's out in front, he does not make it easy for these competitors to get around him as he's able to use that 15 to just hold drivers at bay as those lights are already out on that iRacing.com pace car, which means we're getting ready to turn these boys loose this time by.
Yes, sir, and a green flag is out and a monster startup on the outside by Justin Sipes. He's going to get a couple of car lengths getting down into turn number 1. They go side by side for 2nd place. And almost around goes the 2 car, Danny Cochran there. These guys...
He's got some major damage on the front of that 2 machine. I think that may be a little bit of net code as I didn't see what happened.
Getting a black flag for jumping that restart, it would appear.
Well, now we know why Sipes psyched the field out on that initial start. He jumped it apparently as race control has deployed the black flag. He comes on down pit road, but the rest of these boys continue on about their business, led by that 15 of Braxton DeWeese.
Braxton DeWeese out to about a 3-4 car length or 2 car length lead now. Mason Cassidy in that 71 machine trying to chase him down. Dakota Moniz in 3rd in that 5 car. Changed up the paint scheme just a touch this week. And Danny Cochran recovering quite well from that little bit of damage he's got up in 4th position. We are on lap number 4, coming to lap 5. And
yes, we're on to... No, well, you're good. As long, coming on to lap 4 and to lap 5, that 2 machine is looking for more as he's down along the inside, looking to advance his position. Just can't seem to get the run off the corner. Gets loose. Big wiggle out of the 2. It says, oh, we're going to go 3 wide. It's the 3 machine of Thomas Green. He's going to punch his ticket and catch these guys off guard. What a move by the 3.
Absolutely phenomenal drive by the 3, going middle 3 right there. And now Kyle Rochelle is going to try to take advantage of these guys as we work the 6th lap, completing 6 laps this time by from Braxton DeWeese. Kyle Rochelle got Jarrett Talmadge right behind him. Mo Perry, Owen Joyce, Sean Huffstutler still out here. Justin Sipes decided likely just to park it here. Likely going to have to start at the rear of the field anyways. So look back up front. DeWeese is able to kind of spread the gap out a little bit more.
Yeah, DeWeese is able to put a little bit of daylight between him and that 71 of Mason Cassidy. But he is not letting him get away very far as he continues now to reel him in perhaps just a little bit. Is that Chevrolet is working the bottom really well. Oh, we got trouble near the back of the pack. Looks like the 32 in that 5 machine is involved in some type of melee that happened near the back of the field. We're going to have to check on that for you. But all cars coming back up to speed. We stay under green as the 15 of Braxton DeWeese continues to carry the torch.
Yeah, racing lap number 10, that 71 getting right up within the car length of the 15, Braxton DeWeese. We'll try to take a quick look here to show you what happened to those cars towards the back. The 5 car might be a little bit further back than I want to be, and I don't want to miss out on the finish here.
Yeah, these 15 laps seem to go by here really quick, especially under green flag condition, as we're trying to figure out exactly what happened here. Oh, there you go, right there.
Move.
Yeah, pinball move, and then the 32 comes in and gives him a love tap right in the driver's side door as they're able to continue on. But back up front as we're working lap 12, all signs point to Braxton DeWeese as the 71 just cannot seem to close all the way in and put that pressure on the back bumper of Braxton DeWeese.
Absolutely. 3 laps to go now as these 2 guys separate a little bit more. Cassidy has been able to get it to about a car length away at his closest point, but hasn't been able to close in much more than that. Gonna have 2 more laps to finish off here. Heat number 2.
Yeah, it's the 71 of Cassidy gets a real good entry into the corner, but that 15 just rotates the center so well. I jumped onto the racetrack with these guys, or jumped onto the racetrack with these boys in practice, and that was the thing that really stuck out to me, just how hard it was to rotate the center of the corner, and that's what Braxton DeWeese seems to be doing so well right now.
Absolutely. 2 more corners here for the 15 car. Braxton DeWeese looking to be the 2nd heat race winner here of the day. That's going to be the Mercy Medical Transportation Dash winner here at New Smyrna. So congratulations to Braxton DeWeese. We'll run through your finishing order with Mason Cassidy, Danny Cochran, Thomas Green, Mo Perry, Owen Joyce, Sean Huffstutler, Kyle Rochelle, Jarrett Talmadge, and of course Sipes had to round out the field there. Dakota Moniz, we forgot about him, but.
And as you said, all drivers tonight are going to make the main event as the last chance qualifier is bypassed. So now we're going to get ready for 120 hot laps around this joint. It's hot outside. These drivers are even hotter as we get ready to go to war out here on the racetrack. If you guys are new to SRM, make sure you smash the like button, ring the bell. Last night we were able to hit a major milestone thanks to all you guys in support. 3K subscribers. We're over the hump. Let's see where we can end up tonight after this one is all said and done. But you got to smash the like button and ring the bell. Come home to SRM right here as we got eSIM racing action 7 days and nights a week.
Yeah, we certainly do. And we've got our graphics working back up again here. Go through our starting grid for the big show. We got Dominic Chisholm, the winner of the Thank a First Responder Heat Race number 1, and then Braxton DeWeese, winner of your Mercy Medical Transportation Dash, and Ali Fonseca, Mason Cassidy, Isaac Shelley, Danny Cochran, Ryan Bird, Thomas Green, Aaron Kralik, Mo Perry, Christopher Smith, Owen Joyce, rounding out your top 12 onto rows 7 through 12. Got Ethan Smith and Sean Huffstutler in row number 7, Daniel Veglan, Kyle Rochelle, Matt Troush, Jarrett Talmadge, Thomas Walter, Dakota Moniz, Todd Lamphere, Justin Sipes, and Rob Hottenbach. After going upside down in the first heat race, is going to round out your starting lineup here. So as we get started here, we've got 120 laps. It's going to be the High Rock Mustangs 120. Now the sun has gone down, the lights are coming up, and these guys are getting ready. The pace cars, lights are off. A hard left turn has been made, and green flag is out. Dominic Chisholm leads them down, and he's going to get clear by about a car length. The battle is now for second. Ali Fonseca down to the inside, almost a little bit of contact, and now DeWeese gets loose, has to slide up the track. These guys are scattering down the back straightaway. And around goes the 71. Mason Cassidy's going to go around here at the front of the field. That's going to bring out the caution for the first time here today. Looks like Justin Sipes may have stopped to avoid everything, or maybe he got turned around as well. We'll take a quick look to see that. Might have just been a little bit too much power on cold tires starting off the race. Does a quick 360. Nobody really seems to have hit him. So the first caution comes out early here at New Smyrna. Dominic Chisholm is going to hold on to the race lead right now. Ali Fonseca takes away second place. Isaac Shelley up to third, and Braxton DeWeese recovering in fourth. Sounds like Matt Metler's having himself some technical difficulties right now, so we apologize for that struggle right now, but do my best to bring it home for you guys, or not necessarily bring it home, but until he gets back here. This track just under half a mile, a little bit longer than the 3/8 we raced at last week at Lanier, but definitely much shorter than where we raced the first time in Lakeland, Florida. At USA Speedway. Kind of a nice midpoint. The banking is a lot higher here than it was last week, and that's going to help for some higher speeds, some more intense action here. We're lap number 6. The lights go out on the pace car. Looks like the 87 Dominic Chisholm is going to take the outside lane here at the choose. As we get ready for attempt number 2 here at the New Smyrna 120, the High Rock Mustangs race here. Dominic Chisholm with a strong restart here. He's going to get a couple of car lengths out on Ali Fonseca. Braxton DeWeese trying to battle his way up on the top side. Side by side for second on back. There's Danny Cochran trying to take the run up on the top side. And towards the back, it looked like we were going to get a little bit 3 wide. Ryan Bird working the bottom side of Thomas Green in the 3. Isaac Shelley unable to complete that pass on Danny Cochran, though. Look a little bit further back through the pack. Matt Troush trying to work his way back up through the front. Kyle Rochelle right in front of him has a strong run up on the top side. Owen Joyce, Mo Perry racing up in front of these guys. Seems like that outside lane is where you want to be, at least coming up off the corner. The inside seems to be strong, but if you can't use up all the racetrack coming out of the corner, it might get tough for these guys as they spread out, they fan out pretty wide down the back straightaway. As we've got Thomas Walter has got around up on the top side. The caution flag has come out. I believe Sean Huffstetler might have had a piece of that as well. Yeah, he's got some heavy damage to the front end of that number 9 Dodge SRT Mopar machine. We'll go back to try to take a look to see if there's to see what happened. like the 9 car just kind of got caught up and sideways in that. Try to get another angle here. Dakota is having a problem. Looks like he might have been the one to get into the back of the 57. Oh yeah, looks like just getting up into there, and a tough break for the 57 of Thomas Walter, having to come back up the racetrack with the overcorrection. Yeah, the 2 of Danny Cochran going to try to fake a pit stop there. Thomas Walter, Thomas Walter and Sean Huffsteller both came down to get some damage repaired there. Let's see if the lights stay on the pace car here. Looks like they're going to. We'll go ahead and step away for a quick break here and be right back with some more of the Virtual American Short Track Tour High Rock Mustangs 120 at New Smyrna. Oh, sorry about the had the microphone muted a second. Sorry about that. But Dominic Chisholm sits in the lead. We saw another caution there as the 32 turned around, coming up out of turn number 4. The 71 and 5 getting together, getting collected in that as well. So a couple of quick cautions here early on. We've still got just under 100 laps to go. We work lap number 22. Dominic Chisholm was able to get out front early on and hasn't really looked back, but we've seen a lot later in these races. Once the tires start to wear down, that's where the difference is really going to be made. So I'm sure a lot of these guys are hoping to get some green flag running in here, get some wear and whatnot on the tires from their competitors around them, and start making some more moves. We've got a couple more laps here on the yellow. We got Dominic Chisholm, Danny Cochran, Ollie Fonseca, Braxton Weeds, Isaac Shelley, Ryan Bird, Thomas Green, Aaron Kralik, Ethan Smith, and Christopher Smith rounding out your top 10. A little further back, Mo Perry, Owen Joyce, Matt Troush, Kyle Rochelle, Mason Cassidy, Todd Lamphere, Justin Sipes, Rod Hottenbach, Thomas Walter, Jarrett Talmadge, Dakota Moniz, Sean Huffstutler, Daniel Veglan rounding out the field. So I apologize, Matt's having himself a little bit of a technical issue right now, so while we await his return, we are doubled up here. Dominic Chisholm once again electing to take the outside on the restart. That's going to give Danny Cochran the inside. Braxton DeWeese on the top side as well. And then Ollie Fonseca sitting in third on the bottom. So green flag coming right away. The 87 on the loud pedal as Braxton DeWeese is now trying to take second place away from Danny Cochran. We've seen that top side be nice for the runs coming up off the corner, but Danny Cochran holds it steady there in the battle for second. Braxton not giving an inch, though. He holds up tight up on the outside. Four cars under a blanket here. 6 cars under a blanket now as they're still side by side all the way 3 rows here. Ethan Smith trying to work around Christopher Smith, and then Mo Perry right behind to try to work his way around Owen Joyce. Up the track goes Thomas Green. Now Kralik is going to look to the inside of Shelley. And Fonseca now trying to use the outside lane to get around Danny Cochran. It seems like that outside lane might be able to kind of work its way in throughout the course of this race. We'll have to see as these guys start sliding. Now Braxton DeWeese getting right to the back bumper of Dominic Chisholm. Side by side still for second, though. These guys not giving each other an inch. Down to the inside. Danny Cochran goes in deep, but he cannot. Oh, there's going to be a little bit of contact. Fonseca keeps it straight, though. Danny Cochran has to concede the position. And now it is Chisholm, DeWeese, and Fonseca. 1, 2, 3. So we look a little bit further back in the pack. We see Kyle Rochelle with a little bit of damage on that front end, trying to work to the back bumper of Matt Troush, all while trying to keep Mason Cassidy behind him. We saw Cassidy up front a little bit earlier on in the night. Obviously, he turned around a little bit earlier as well. And around goes Troush! Looks like most everybody's going to be able to get through that, but Troush might have got hit on the right front, and that's what may have turned him back to the right. We saw a little bit of contact getting down into the corner. Ended up turning the 0-9 around. We'll go ahead and take ourselves another look at that one. And it might have been another Dakota Moniz hit. So these hits keep coming for him. Maybe not to cause the caution. It looks like Kyle Rochelle was the one who made the initial contact, but just said that my knees hit him or something because of the slowdown there, but great heads-up driving by most everybody there. Nowhere for the 32 of Talmadge to go. Matt Troush coming in for some repairs. Dominic Chisholm continues to click laps away from the lead. We're now working lap number 34 out of 120 here. We do not have a midway break or a Wiz Khalifa concert in this race, so I think that's a pretty good deal. Appreciate everybody who's jumping into the chat as well. Chris DeWeese here, rooting on Braxton. Alan's Art Images, also rooting on Braxton. A lot of fans here for the number 15. Double Zero and 72 have some fans here as well. I may have said 72. Double Zero and 2 have fans here. Danny Cochran has a fan up in the chat who's also rooting for Ethan Smith. These guys definitely love to put on a show for their supporters, and if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing here, we put on great races 7 nights a week here as these guys get doubled up, ready for the restart. It's going to be Dominic Chisholm, Braxton DeWeese, Danny Cochran, Ali Fonseca, Ryan Bird, Isaac Shelley, Aaron Kralik, Thomas Green, Ethan Smith, and Christopher Smith rounding out your top 10. Now Braxton DeWeese is going to have the inside. Dominic Chisholm has been super strong on the outside and going almost immediately. This time he does once again a strong restart out of the 87. He's going to have about 2 car lengths going down into 1. And now Danny Cochran's going to try to work that outside like it was worked on him that last run. He's got himself a nice run coming up on the outside of DeWeese. And Ali Fonseca is trying to defend from Isaac Shelley right behind him. Cochran with a nice run coming up through on the top side, though. He's almost going to be clear. He is going to be clear getting down into turn number 1. Isaac Shelley back here. Looks like Thomas Green a little bit loose there trying to defend from Aaron Kralik. And Ethan Smith just behind these guys looking to find a way to pounce, find the perfect moment. He's starting to single file out a little bit more, but just as I say that, you see a little bit of a shot to the 21 out of the 54. It never feels good when you're under brake and getting down into a hard corner like this, but these drivers managing it quite well. There's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises throughout the course of this season, being the Virtual American Short Track Tour. But these guys know what they're getting into. There's not going to be a whole lot of hurt feelings for much more than maybe a couple minutes after the race. These guys know what it's about, and yeah, they know what they signed up for. You see Danny Cochran now trying to defend from Braxton DeWeese. Dominic Chisholm able to kind of drive away a little bit with the 2 car in second, but we weren't seeing that much with the 15 in second, so it's, I wonder if maybe the 2 is trying to save a little bit more tire than that 15 is, or how that's going to go. But we've still got just under 80 laps to go as Ali Fonseca works his way up through, sitting in 4th place. Ryan Bird, we watched him be fast in qualifying there. He's sitting in 6th place for the time being. Thomas Green just behind him. Ethan Smith all over the back of Kralik once again, though. And Christopher Smith, he's kind of torn between, he's stuck it between a rock and a hard place here. He's got to defend from the 54, who seems to be able to get to his back bumper. But he's also trying to make the move on the 00. Now here comes the 71 of Mason Cassidy getting down to the inside of Perry and turns Perry around down the back straightaway. It looks like no, Perry's going to get turned back up into the field. Nobody hits Mo Perry that time around. But the caution has come out once again here on lap number 45 for Mo Perry getting turned around. We'll go back and take a look to see what happened. Yeah, just as I was talking about these guys battling here, looks like Perry kind of, well, 71 dives it down in, tries to make that move on the inside. Perry might have come down just a touch, but I'm not totally sure with that angle. These guys just kind of got together coming up out of the corner and turned Perry sideways, and a great job by Perry not getting back up into the rest of the field, getting her locked down and stopped up. So Dominic Chisholm remains their leader. He's led virtually everything so far. Remember, no extra pits or something. No extra sets of tires in the pits for these drivers. So these guys are going to finish on what they started here, as Matt Trouch is going to get his lap back here, return to the lead lap. It'll bring all 23 of our drivers onto the lead lap here. That just kind of goes to show how competitive this series is, even with all of these, you know, incidents that we've had. Not a lot of big wrecks, not a lot of people getting too hurt, and everybody's still able to stay on the lead lap. So you definitely love to see that kind of parity out of a league, and I know some of these guys want to see a couple more green flag laps, but the fact that we've still got everybody in this race, even with the flurry of yellows we've had to start, I think that kind of says a lot about the competition level. People aren't just quitting either, so props to every driver here. Definitely appreciate them letting us put on this show here. Usually I've got Matt Metler up in the booth with me. He's facing some technical difficulties at home, trying to get returned to the broadcast booth, but for right now, you guys are stuck with me as the lights go out on the pace car. Dominic Chisholm once again, he's no surprise he's taking the outside lane once again. Danny Cochran down to the inside, Braxton DeWeese and Ali Fonseca rounding out your top four. Ryan Bird gets up here as well. He's sitting in 6th place up on the outside. He's the outside of Isaac Shelley. Last week's winner, Aaron Kralik, up on the outside, and Ethan Smith rounds out your top 10. Green flag back out, and a super strong run for the top side. Danny Cochran slow on the initial restart. Ali Fonseca is going to try to fight him. These guys might have hit just a little bit there in turns 1 and 2. Fonseca with a strong run up on the outside. These guys dive it down into turns 3 and 4, and you can see just how much stronger that outside is for Ali Fonseca right now. A little bit further back, you see this hefty battle. Mason Cassidy has been no stranger to the mid-pack and no stranger to contact today, as you see some damage to the front end there. He's been both turned around and turned a driver as well, so not an ideal day for him, but he's doing his best to make a strong recovery and doing quite well as he tries to work the inside of the 21, Christopher Smith. This time might be able to get down in there, but that run up on the top side is just too much right now, it would seem. Kyle Rochelle just behind this battle. He's got the 32 of Talmadge all over him. Owen Joyce trying now to work the inside of Talmadge as he went wide there. And Justin Sipes, driver looking for a little bit of a bounce back after last week. Not sitting where he wants to quite yet in 15th place. He is up 7 spots from the start, I believe, and only 55 laps in. We're not quite halfway. There's still plenty of time for things to change. And we had some sort of problem up front there with Dominic Chisholm. Let's see here. Does Ollie get down into him? Yes, he does. Gets him quite sideways, and Ollie didn't really want to do that. He backs off. Danny Cochran's going to take advantage of that. Now Danny Cochran holds on to the race lead. Chisholm sits in 3rd, and now for the first time, he is the one doing the chasing. He's got Braxton DeWeese right in front of him, and I believe this is the longest we've seen these guys go green flag. We've had a couple of 10-lap cycles on these tires, but even with those heat cycles, these things are gonna start wearing down more and more, especially with the gold, the orange color you're seeing in these brake pads. They don't hardly have any time to cool down the straightaways. They're hard on the brakes getting back into the corner. So you're watching Christopher Smith. A little bit further back, we've got a battle between Sipes and the 23 of Owen Joyce. Sipes trying to work his way back up through the field. Trying to work his way up into the top 10. And his car looks fairly clean for where he is in the field, as well as the 23 car. Those cars both looking pretty clean up on the front end. Unable to get that run, though, on the bottom. Now Sipes tries a little bit of a bump. Didn't seem to have the effect he maybe wanted it to, but still trying to work over is now the 99, who was upside down earlier on in this night. Finished his heat race on his lid, and now he sits in 16th place. He's up 7 spots from where he started. Will Perry, we saw get turned around. He's working the inside of Dakota Moniz. Daniel Veglon in that Haviland machine right up in front of him, sitting in 17th place. I mean, these cars are just so close to each other all over the racetrack. I mean, the biggest gap right now within the top 20 is this one. Christopher Smith back to the 3-car Thomas Green. There is absolutely phenomenal racing going on everywhere, and one mistake is all it's going to take. We saw that out of the 42 and 87. 42 cooks it in a little bit too deep, has to check up when he gets the 87 sideways, and now neither one of these guys are leading the race. Danny Cochran sits in first, Braxton DeWeese in second. Well, we have a moment. We're going to let you guys hear the sights and, well, see the sights and hear the sounds of these beautiful super late model race cars. We're going to turn it up. And we're going to turn it right back down as the caution has come out. We're going to take a look to see what has happened here. I believe some drivers towards the back may be a good clue to start with, but go ahead and find the incident here. Oh, yeah, Thomas Green. Oh, he was racing with Cassidy, gets turned around. Kyle Rochelle just barely gets tagged there, and looks like he was able to drive away here and not without a few spots lost, but that's going to bring out the caution once again. And for the first time, Danny Cochran's going to get the chance to choose where he wants to restart here today. Jumping back up to the front of the field here, we see Danny Cochran, Braxton DeWeese. Dominic Chisholm, though, now has to start on the bottom side for the first time all day. We'll see what kind of a restart he can get. That puts Isaac Shelley right behind him. Remember, these two guys, they get along fairly well, but after last week, a little bit of contact on the track, I could imagine maybe when you're behind the wheel, you might have that a little bit more in mind. There's no major beef between these guys or anything like that. I'm not trying to say there is, but we can try to stir up some excitement if these guys find each other racing 1-2 towards the end of this thing. I know at least they'll think one of us has got to win it. But Danny Cochran choosing the outside like we saw Dominic Chisholm do every single time. Braxton DeWeese stuck on the inside. Chisholm behind him in third. Ali Fonseca in fourth. Fifth place is Isaac Shelley. Ethan Smith on his outside. Ryan Bird, rather, on his outside, then Ethan Smith, Aaron Kralik. And green flag is back out, and a monster run once again for the top side. Danny Cochran getting about 2 car lengths out front, but now Braxton DeWeese under brake and gets back to a little bit closer here. Ali Fonseca trying to keep Dominic Chisholm behind him. And there's the 71 of Mason Cassidy. May have had a little bit of a problem there. He's slow and off the pace coming into the pits. So is the 1 and the 32. So that may have been some black flags for potentially moving too soon before the restart came out. As Dominic Chisholm makes contact with Ali Fonseca. I'm not sure who came up or who came down, but these guys, neither one of them want to give up this third place. Ryan Bird gets in front of Isaac Shelley now. But for how long? And how long is Ethan Smith going to sit behind these guys in that 00? He's got to be hungry. And then Aaron Kralik, last week's winner, he's going to be trying to get up into that top 5 because he knows anything can happen towards the end of these things. With Justin Sipes all over the back of Owen Joyce. This battle is now for 11th or 10th and 11th now. As we saw these guys racing for 15th earlier on, Justin Sipes needed that caution. He liked that restart. It's worked out well for him. Now he's trying to get back up into the top 10. Up 11 spots from where he started, so is Rob Hottenbach. These guys both obviously had trouble in their heat races. Justin a little too quick on the gun to get going on his... and around goes the 23, Owen Joyce. Just as we were talking about these guys, Owen Joyce gets turned around. That's going to bring out the caution once again here on lap number 76. These runs are starting to get longer. These tempers are going to start to flare a little bit more, especially when the heat builds up in the tires. These guys start sliding around more. We're going to take a look and double check what happened to the Owen Joyce machine. Looks like just a touch, yeah, there from Justin Sipes and Rob Hottenbach. Both guys that I had talked about having trouble in their heat races, having to jump to the back of the field. Somehow both get a couple of quick tags on that Owen Joyce spin. We'll go back and look at Danny Cochran here. Braxton DeWeese, Ali Fonseca, Dominic Chisholm, Ryan Bird, Isaac Shelley, Ethan Smith, Aaron Kralik. Christopher Smith is up here. You see that lap down car of Mason Cassidy. He is 2 down after having to come down to the pits. Kyle Rochelle and Jarrett Talmadge still in the pits. They may have some repairs going on or some sort of trouble that they're dealing with. As Kyle Rochelle pulls away now. Danny Cochran gets a chance to choose once again. He's, of course, going to choose the outside. Braxton DeWeese to his inside, but Dominic Chisholm, he's going to restart 4th. That is the outside lane that he has restarted in and done so well every single time. Ali Fonseca now stuck on the inside. We saw how those guys raced each other before. Don't expect for one moment that Ali's not going to give this absolutely everything he's got. Coming to 41 laps to go, and Danny Cochran with another huge start here. Dominic Chisholm trying to race for 2nd over Braxton DeWeese. DeWeese goes in deep, slides up the track, but can't use up all of it. That's going to give Dominic Chisholm the 2nd spot. And now Ali Fonseca trying to defend from Isaac Shelley. Shelley has been strong on that top side as well. And now he's got about half a car length. Not quite clear getting down into turn number 1. Might have had to check up just a touch for that 15 machine as these guys are banging doors coming up off of turn number 2. Kralik and Bird side by side right behind these guys. Ethan Smith trying to figure out where to go. Justin Sipes, he's worked his way up into the top 10. He's right behind this battle as these guys are banging doors now coming up off of turn number 2. We'll keep an eye on this lead battle though, because Dominic Chisholm was strong when he was out front. Now he's chased down Danny Cochran from a couple of car lengths back, just trying to figure out where can I poke my nose out to get you a little bit nervous, try to cause a mistake. You know the ideal place to pass is going to be up on the top side, but if he can't get there, that's going to bring a driver like Braxton DeWeese or Ali Fonseca back up to these top two and just make it oh so much tougher to try to make a pass for the lead. Lap number 85 this time out of 120 in the High Rock Mustangs, 110 at New Smyrna. Danny Cochran doing absolutely everything he can to try to keep that 87 behind him. Braxton DeWeese is not far off this pace either, as he has been rocking a low line, using up all the racetrack he can coming out of turn number 4. Closing the gap just a little bit on Chisholm, as now he works his way up to the top side to try to get a little bit more momentum. Not going to be able to get the job done there as he dives back down to the inside of the 87. Dominic Chisholm. DeWeese. Chisholm coming up out of turn number 4. That time it goes to the 87. Wide it goes to the 87 as well. 15's not able to use up enough racetrack coming out of the corner. Can't quite keep his momentum rolling, but seems to have a pretty good car if he can hold the bottom like that through the middle of the corner. But all this is just going to bring Fonseca and Shelley back up to the front. Aaron Kralik finds himself in a little bit of breathing room. He's got a couple of car lengths up in front and behind. Saw him and Ryan Bird going at it earlier in the race. Ethan Smith sitting here right in front of Justin Sipes, who is our biggest mover of the race, up 13 spots. Rob Hottenbach not too far. He's up 11, so he's got the chance to try to take that honor away from Justin Sipes. But you can't discredit Justin's effort here today, going from the 22nd starting spot all the way up to 9th place. He's had to pass more drivers than anybody, and he's done it quite well as the race. As around goes Mo Perry. Looks like he's going to get it back straightened out after potentially some contact to straighten him out. That definitely looked like contact to get him turned around. But we stay green after that, and Danny Cochran has got to love that. DeWeese back all over the back bumper of Chisholm, but he's unable to figure out a way around. That top side is just so dominant on corner exit. You've almost got to have them cleared through the middle of the corner so you can use up all the racetrack you want. Or, of course, you could try the good old-fashioned chrome horn. Couple of DeWeese fans in the chat. We love to see you here, and yes, he is definitely keeping that pressure on the 87 with just under 30 laps to go, approaching 25 laps to go here. This is about the time where you want to start really applying that pressure and forcing this driver into a mistake. Isaac Shelley getting up close to these guys as well. Ali Fonseca had to relinquish that position there for 4th. Now Shelley takes that spot. A little bit of drama down the back stretches. Christopher Smith and Rob Hottenbach are battling. Oh, and around goes Ethan Smith. We're going to stay green as well. It looked like he maybe didn't go all the way around or was able to get it back straight quick enough. But that's going to put Justin Sipes up into 8th. Rob Hottenbach into 10th. And the caution has just come out now as Todd Lamphere has crashed into the outside wall coming out of turn number 2. Definitely not what a driver like Danny Cochran wanted to see here. As fortunately for Todd Lamphere, he's able to stay on the lead lap in that situation. We're going to go back and double check what happened to this Lamphere machine. Oh, the 57 had got turned around, and Oh, goodness. Lampier got turned up on his side after a heavy hit. Here's the initial contact. It's the 71 and 57 getting together. That doesn't bring out the caution. What brings out the caution is when the 26 spins back up and gets turned over. So a lot going on in that one. That's going to bring us down to 21 laps to go. Danny Cochran's going to have himself one heck of a battle, a fight on his hands. And something may have happened to the 87, Dominic Chisholm. Dominic Chisholm may have had some sort of failure happen and might be out of this race. Even the top side opens so that the 71 can get his lap back, but we've got 20 laps to go. It'll be 19 at the restart. Danny Cochran with a phenomenal restart there once again, and Isaac Shelley tries to move down to the inside to maybe make it 3 wide as they get down, and that's not gonna work. Sideways is the 15 of DeWeese. These guys all try to get through, but DeWeese takes the worst end of that, getting turned around and bringing out yet another caution here. And you knew getting down into turn number 1, that was going to be really tough. 3 cars going down for 1 spot. Let's go ahead and take another look at the restart. This actually may not be the restart. This might be where Chisholm disappeared. Yes, indeed it was. Looks like some sort of connection issue happened there. He is back on the racetrack right now, however. So unfortunately, multiple laps down. But yes, we'll jump back and show you quickly what happened to bring out that caution flag. A little bit behind it there. We'll jump back from the restart, try a little bit of a slow-mo. Yeah, these guys get 3 wide, getting down into 1. Shelley thinks he's got himself a nice run down in, maybe not realizing that the 42 was still there. Touches that apron, slides up the racetrack, gets the 15 of DeWeese turned around. And nobody hits the 15 machine. Heads up driving by absolutely everybody. Phenomenal job there. Nobody hits the 15. He's able to go away with no damage. Unfortunately, sitting in the 20th position now. Mason Cassidy has gotten back on the lead lap. Dominic Chisholm is unfortunately sitting 5 laps down, and with 15 laps to go, it might be tough to get enough free passes to try to make another run at it. But Danny Cochran holds on to the lead over Isaac Shelley, Ali Fonseca, Aaron Kralik, Ryan Bird, Justin Sipes up into the top 6, trying to get a top 5 spot. Rob Hottenbach as well, right with him. Christopher Smith, Matt Trouth, and Ethan Smith rounding out your top 10. Danny Cochran hoping this is the last time he's got to go for it, but green flag coming back out. He's got himself a nice restart, but he's got a new player in second in Isaac Shelley. Now Justin Sipes trying to work the top side, a little bit of contact with Ali Fonseca. Fonseca gets him cleared, and now it's Bird to the inside of Sipes for the top 5. Sipes goes way wide. Ryan Bird almost clear coming out of turn number 4. Not quite able to do so. We've got 13 laps to go in the feature here. The High Rock Mustangs 120 here at New Smyrna. Action all over this racetrack as these guys not wanting to give an inch. Side-by-side battles for top 10 spots, top 5 spots. Looking close for P2 here as Aaron Kralik has entered 3rd place, trying to chase down that 98. And these are 3 of the players that we saw in the main event last week play a part in the feature, or in the finish there. So 11 laps to go for Danny Cochran. He's got a lapped car in front of him and Isaac Shelley all over the back bumper. Aaron Kralik trying to find a way to get it done here today. Just like he did last week, Ali Fonseca sits in 4th place just in front of Justin Sipes, and those guys did touch just a little bit coming out of the coming off that restart, so we'll see if there's maybe a little bit more sparks flying as we come to 9 laps to go for Danny Cochran, and he's got the 98 all over his back bumper. Are these guys going to catch up to the 54 of Mo Perry, and is that going to cause a problem as somebody down the back straightaway that looked like Thomas Green almost rode up onto the wall, and now he's trying to defend the spot back from Matt Troush. That's the battle for 9th and 10th and 11th there with Ethan Smith right behind. Almost a little bit more contact with these guys, but Danny Cochran chasing down the 54 lapped machine, or almost lapped machine of Mo Perry. 7 laps to go. Is this lapped car going to be enough for Isaac Shelley to get the chance? Mo Perry stays up top. He actually touched the wall a little bit, but he does not want to play a factor in this race win, so he gives up the spot. Continues to do so for Kralik and Fonseca. These guys are all over each other, though, and he's once again into the wall as Justin Sipes now looks down to the inside of Fonseca. This battle for 4th, Ryan Bird trying to get up into the top 5 with these guys, but Justin Sipes up 17 spots from where he started after a tough heat race for him. He's got to be pretty pleased with what he's accomplished here today, but 5 laps to go, now 4 laps to go for Danny Cochran.
Yeah, that's right. 4 more times around this oval here tonight. As I had a headset problem, I went over to the store, picked up a cheap one, was able to join you guys back late. I apologize
It's all right, Matt.
for
We
that.
got 3 laps to go this time. We're glad you're back. Let's bring her home.
That's right. 3 laps to go. 3 more times around this joint from Danny Cochran. That number 2 machine who is leading out in front. He's up 5 spots on the night. But how about, look at this, that 42 machine, he is getting in the way just a little bit right now. Is that going to allow that 98 machine of Isaac Shelley to close in on the back door? Only time will tell as laps are running dry in this one.
Absolutely, we're coming to the white flag, and there's a little bit of a bump out of Isaac Shelley. It sends Cochran up the track. It sent Shelley down the track. Now these guys are side by side. Kralik right behind. He's seen this one before.
Yeah, Kralik has definitely been in this seat before, as we know last week what happened. Here we go.
There's a little bit more contact in 1 and 2. Shelley gets bumped. Kralik gets bumped by Fonseca. Everybody tries bumping each other, but Danny Cochran's going to come away with the win. Isaac Shelley in 2nd, and Ali Fonseca with a 3rd flipping place as these guys wreck after the line. I wonder if Aaron Kralik came in with a little bit of heat after that last lap contact, but...
Yeah, just a little. Maybe he did come in with a little bit of heat after that late race contact as Isaac Shelley. But Danny Cochran, he is going to reign supreme here tonight. He is going to be the victor as we close out a wild one here in New Smyrna under the lights in prime time.
Yes, sir. Danny Cochran is burning it down up front here. We'll go ahead and show you guys that. Beautiful donuts out of that number 2 machine, and we're going to try to go ahead and get him up in here with us. All right, Danny, it's Matt and Liam up in the booth. How you doing after such a strong race? Well, we might not have his microphone on right now, but
Oh, there we go. I was
there we
muted.
go. Danny,
Yeah. To answer your question there, my arms are feeling a little tired because there was a lot of us battling real hard there at the end for that top spot. Aaron and Braxton, both those guys or Aaron and Isaac, not Braxton, I'm sorry. Aaron and Isaac just battling real hard with me there, making it fun. Yeah, I'm feeling a little tired after that one.
now kind of talk us through the battle that you had with the 87. We saw him and Ollie get together a little bit and kind of brought him back behind you guys. And, you know, once he got back up to you, it looked like he was going to have a real shot there.
Yeah, he had a lot of speed for sure. He was very fast. He got back up to my bumper. I was trying to save my right front a little bit there for the end, but he did get back up to me, and I think he would have gave me a real good run for my money there at the end, but unfortunately he ran into some connection issues. Yeah, he was really strong. The 15 was really strong. We caught a few lucky breaks tonight, and that helped me get it in victory lane.
Yeah, man, and kind of walk us through. You had yourself a little bit of bump and run there on the last couple of laps. First with Isaac Shelley, mostly with Shelley there. You had a huge moment getting through turns 1 and 2. Did you think that might have been it?
I mean, you always got it. Like, you can't think that that's it. I mean, for me, I'm doing whatever I can 100% of the time. Feel like, all right, how do I make the most of the situation? How do I keep my car in the front? And it kind of worked out that way, thankfully. Yeah, I mean, Rubin's racing. You know, I don't blame him for getting to my rear bumper there a little bit. That's part of it. I'd probably do the same to him. Yeah, Rubin's racing, man. It's part of it.
Absolutely.
And we were on the receiving end of it, and that's all right. Loved racing with these guys tonight.
Yeah, it looked like an absolute blast to be out there, and you know, you guys definitely show a lot of respect in the races, and so we love to see it. But before we turn you loose, is there anybody that you want to thank for such a strong performance, getting you in victory lane here?
Larry with Larry Arts Productions. Him riding on the hood and rocker panel on my car this week. Stoked to have him on board for half the races of the season, as well as the rest of my admin crew helping me put this on. These guys do a lot to make it happen every week. So stoked for them. High Rock Mustangs for sponsoring the event. You guys for broadcasting, of course, and anybody watching at home, really appreciate it.
Awesome stuff, Danny. We loved watching you guys put on one heck of a show, and yeah, go celebrate, burn it down.
Appreciate it, guys.
That was your race winner, Danny Cochran, and now we'll pull in Isaac Shelley, your second place finisher. Matt, I believe you've got Isaac.
Isaac Shelley, Matt Metler up in the SRM booth. Do you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, you put on a performance here tonight in that 98 machine. You come up, unfortunately, just a little short again. Walk me through that race from your perspective. I mean, it seemed like it was treacherous out there on the racetrack. Is that what you seen out your windshield as well?
Yeah, I think most of the chaos was happening in the back, and we were hanging around top 5 all day, and I knew those guys would burn their stuff up, you know, battling up there, so I was just kind of hanging back with my teammate Bird, and we were just, you know, keeping pace with them, pretty close to them, but still conserving tire, and, you know, it almost worked out. We got close again. I mean, we've had race-winning speed all 3 races this season so far. So, I mean, one of these times it's going to click and we're going to win. But, yeah, it was chaotic, a lot less chaotic than last week, thankfully. It's still really good racing. Had a good battle with Danny at the end. But got into Braxton on that one restart. And, I don't know, I was going to make the corner until I clipped the grass right there where the grass comes up onto the apron entering turn 1, and once I hit that grass, it just shot me up into him. But then I don't know, he threw a hissy fit and whatever, but he didn't really go off the start, so I saw an opportunity to make it 3 wide and go for some positions, put myself in opportunity to win the race. I'll apologize for what happened to him, but I'm never gonna apologize for how it happened. Same with last week. So overall,
that was
good
a
race.
wild 3-wide move that you put down there on the 42 and 15, and kind of unfortunate it didn't go that way. But kind of walk us through those last couple of laps. I mean, this is the second week in a row that we've talked to you after some contact up front, and it seems like you're close.
Yeah, we've been close all year. I mean, we've been second, on the last restart, like every single race this season so far. So, but yeah, Danny and I, we kind of broke away from the pack there, and we were both driving the crap out of it. We were blowing the corners and sliding off of two, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good battle, and yeah, I kind of punted him coming to the white, and I didn't really mean to, and it put him up the racetrack. I tried to slow down, make sure we had a good, fair battle to the end, and I wasn't going to try anything too crazy into 3 because, I already tried it lap before and it didn't really work. So, but yeah, congrats to him. He's been fast all season, so yeah, we'll try again in 2 weeks, I guess.
Rock on. And before we turn you loose, is there anybody that you want to thank for such a strong performance and a strong season so far?
Yeah, everybody on the Vail Racing team, Analysis Garage, Premier Racing Graphics, you guys for broadcasting this. I'm usually watching the broadcast in study hall in school on Mondays, so they're always fun to watch. And yeah, Danny, everybody who makes this show happen, because it's a lot of fun to race here every week, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Absolutely, it is a lot of fun to watch you guys put on battle. Isaac, we'll hopefully be talking to you in 2 weeks, hopefully in the number 1 position. But thanks for joining us here. We'll send you back to Vail, and yeah, go celebrate that second place finish.
All right, thank you all. Have a good night.
That leaves us with just one more. Ali Fonseca, the third place finisher here today, and we kind of mentioned it with Isaac there. You found yourself in the right in the heat of things as these late race things come down. We get some contact, and well, first off, kind of walk us through how your race went in general for you.
Well, it was definitely exciting. I was definitely quick, and the car was doing what I wanted it to do for the first half of the race. I did pack the wall pretty good there after a while, although it didn't really affect the handling that bad. But the only way I could make ground up on those guys was starting fourth and trying to power around the outside. You couldn't go anywhere on the bottom on those restarts. So for that reason, I couldn't quite get up there all the way. And then, I did definitely, well, I don't know if I made any enemies tonight, but I definitely did get into a couple people. So especially Dominic there, I feel kind of bad about that one. And it's funny, as soon as I got done apologizing to Dominic, I told Danny, I was like, well, you're welcome, and sure enough, he ran away with it. So it is what it is. I'm just glad to finish third and keep the top 5 finish streak going.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like you were one of the only people that really had something for Dominic here today. Obviously, as a connection issue put him a couple of laps down, but walk us through that last 5 or so lap run there when everybody was kind of just inching closer and closer to each other.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was gonna be a last lap deal like it was last week, but I shouldn't have been surprised. I was just trying to stay as close to Aaron as I could, and try to squeak out a top 3, and then they got into it, and I was thinking, oh boy, here we go, not again. But I guess I was on the better end of it this time. Didn't run into anyone. I got into Aaron a little bit, although I wanted that third place spot, man, and the door was open, and I had to take it. So I did, and I got that top 3, and I'm glad that I was able to get it done.
Yes, sir, and you did it in phenomenal fashion, almost turning over across the line, trying to block that 55 cars run. But before we turn you loose, is there anybody that you want to thank for such a strong performance?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, all the people that watch and support this new league. It's pretty exciting, and this race seemed to be a little bit cleaner than last week. We keep on getting better and better with it. So I'm sure by the end of the season, it'll be really, really entertaining. You know, there's going to be some beef, there's going to be some drama, but you know, it's just part of the product with these cars, these tracks. So I'm just excited to be here and, you know, be in contention week in, week out.
Well, awesome stuff, Ollie. We appreciate you joining us. We'll get you sent back to your team. Is that Vale?
It is Jacked Up Motorsports.
Jacked up. Sorry about that. And yeah, we'll get you sent back over there. We appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on your podium finish.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, guys.
Well, that's going to about do it for us here. We'll go through our finishing order. And Matt, I'm not sure how much you were able to see. I know you mentioned having to make a quick microphone run. We thoroughly appreciate you coming back and helping us out here at the end. And well, you got to see certainly a pretty spectacular end to this race. Just like last week, it was a beauty. I mean, it was kind of caution filled at the beginning. We got some green flag runs in, and then a longer run at the end, and we saw how everybody kind of came together.
Yeah, I think Ollie said it best there in his interview. There's going to be some tempers flaring. There's going to be some beef, but that's short track racing under the lights. And you're right. I was able to get back just in time for a heck of a finish between Danny Cochran, Isaac Shelley, and Ollie Fonseca up front there battling out for the win. You could hear the frustration in the voice of the 98, the disappointment as he comes so close so many times. And, you know, he apologized for the contact that he made. But, you know, if you didn't have this character, if you didn't have this drama, then it wouldn't be this type of racing that we've grown to love and appreciate each and every Sunday night right here at SRM. But like you said, only one thing left to do. So let's run down the order one final time here this evening. In first place, your winner tonight, that's going to be the 2 machine of Danny Cochran. And a very close runner-up second. You heard the disappointment and frustration in his voice as he comes up just a little bit short. Isaac Shelley. In third, that 42 machine with another podium finish again this week. Ollie Fonseca. In fourth, the 55 machine of Justin Sipes. In fifth, that's Ryan Bird. In sixth, Robert Hottenbach. Coming home seventh, the Crawdaddy Aaron Kralik. In eighth, Thomas Green. Ninth belongs to the 00 of Ethan Smith. And in 10th, rounding out your top 10, that's going to be the 21 of Christopher Smith.
Yes,
Going
sir.
on
and then
to...
we've got Matt Trouch, who had himself an up and down day, but finds himself just outside of the top 10 with a good recovery. Braxton DeWeese, we saw him strong throughout the course of the race, and we saw a little bit of contact between him and the 98 on that 3-wide move. Puts him back into 12th place. Owen Joyce, we saw him go around. He had himself a pretty good recovery to come back 13th. Dakota Moniz, another guy who's gotten some fenders bent up a little bit, comes home 14th. Jarrett Talmadge in the top 15. And Daniel Veglon, Todd Lamphere, Sean Huffstutler, Mo Perry, Mason Cassidy, Thomas Walter, Dominic Chisholm after domination early on. Connection issues put him down 5 laps, and then Kyle Rochelle unable to finish this one here today, 25 laps down. And yeah, before we sign off, we just want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in here. It's an absolute blast to call these short track races, and I tell you what, racing like this is why NASCAR did what they did tonight. I have not watched that, so no spoilers, please. But yeah, this is absolutely phenomenal grassroots short track racing, and yeah, this league puts on one heck of a show week in and week out. So we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in to Sim Racing Media. If you're new, go ahead and drop a subscribe there, hit us with a like, all that good stuff, and we will see you next time.